Hello and welcome to the third week of the GPC, starring me, Mouldy, with my team, the Wolverhampton Wanderers, which is clearly the best team to have come from the GPC in a long time. Third week, 2 losses already, and let's see if we get another loss, shall we? I'll go through the team first. Decided to actually post-record this one, like the actual battle and everything, so yeah. That's mainly because I wanted to kind of actually see how I do battling without doing commentary, because I think sometimes when I do commentary I don't like think things over my head, and I just kind of act on a whim. And so yeah, I kind of took a bit more time with it this time, and you'll see how it goes. Well, you'll see how it goes. I already know how it goes. So yeah, the team I'm running with is Latios, Rotom Heat, Seismitoad, Skuntank, Sork, and Azumarill. So it's the first time I've used Skuntank. And again, Sork's coming back, Azumarill's coming back, Latios is coming back, and Rotom Heat and Seismitoad didn't make a return as well. So Rotom Heat, I am using. I think I'm using the same set as I used last time, so I'll get into that in a second. Though, so I'm running a kind of max special and max speed Latios with Calm Mind and Sub. So the team I'm playing against, it's I think is it Austin Tauros? I think it's Austin Tauros, and that's quite a bad way of yeah, it's Robin Var anyway. So yeah, I'm running Mega Latios because he's got a Mega Venusaur, and this is my best kind of check to Mega Venusaur. And I figured a lot of time they'll run like Leech Seed and stuff like that, and Sleep. So I'm running Sub on it, so I can kind of block that and then set up Calm Minds. I guess there's a thing to worry about. But we'll get into that when we get to reach the battle. So we got Rotom Heat, running I'm not sure if the same set I used last time or different, but I'm not running HP investment this time, and literally just like all that defense with some speed. So mainly special defense because I've got Willow. So yeah, it's quite cool. This is a set that Frank introduced to me, or at least I remember watching a video that Frank made ages ago, and I always love this set. I always love this. It works with all the Rotoms as well. It's actually really cool, like the double status kind of thing. So, and the pain split works really well with like low HP as well. So yeah, it's all good and dandy. And I brought a Seismitoad as well because I wanted rocks, because he's got quite a lot of rock weak Pokemon on his team, and also kind of wanted it as a baiting kind of thing. So it will bait in Venusaur, and that will get me either a free switch into Latios or Rotom and other things. So it's not a free switch, but it gets me a switch into those, and it's always going to be a Venusaur that's coming in. There's not much else that would want to switch into a Seismitoad, considering the Scald and knockoff, and Venusaur doesn't mind either of those, so it makes sense that would come in. And I thought, well, if I do that, then maybe I can have like a kind of an opportunity to double into a Latios, double into Rotom. And yeah, kind of brought Rotom as well, because Venusaur was the biggest threat to my team, because I haven't actually got that much to hit it really with my team. Like there's nothing that's like absolutely destroys it except for Latios with the Psyshock, and so yeah, so having Seismitoad in there so I can kind of bait around that, and Rotom I kind of wanted to switch in, even though that set doesn't look like it can do anything to it. Having a Paralyze on a Pokemon like that is generally quite useful, so I figured I'd go with that. And then I got Skuntank just because I wanted another defogger. Just like, because I wanted control of hazards in this game, and also Skuntank's got Taunt, so he can outspeed Venusaur and all that kind of stuff if needs be, and he's got a Sucker Punch, Poison Jab, just the 2 stabs, and defogger. It's quite a good defogger, so just figured I'd bring it along, see how it goes. And brought Sork again, Scarf Sork. Can't really do wrong with it, can you? It's fast, hits hard, and it's got a good move pool as well for especially for league play. Like, you can pretty much hit anything with its move pool if you wanted to. Send Headbutt, like it's for Venusaur again. And then I've got a Azumarill, which kind of shoehorned in at the end. And as you can see, it's got the ability Thick Fat. Now that is not intentional. I've left it like that, but it does come into play in the battle, so you have to wait and see for that. Basically, I completely forgot to change the ability on it, and yeah. you get more of me choking not in terms of like battling wise, but at least of team building. And then I'm actually carrying bounce on this, so that's to hit him Venusaur, so I can maybe again with how I use size potatoes like a baiting thing for Venusaur. I was thinking I could bait in Venusaur by sending this in on our Pokemon, and Venusaur's going to be able to switch in because Waterfall, Play Rough, it resists both of those. Nice Punch, it's thick fat, so it doesn't matter. Not many people know that Azumarill gets bounce, and I thought, right, let's give it a go, because even though you might be able to switch out on the incoming bounce, there's nothing on his team which resists flying, because I haven't actually got any flying types on my team either, so even if he did have one, I don't think he'd bring it. So it's kind of like an unconventional kind of thing to bring along, but I figured why not, see how it goes. I'm here to have fun, I'm not here to take things too seriously, because I don't play Pokemon for that anymore, really. So let's get into the battle, and we'll see you there. So here we go. This is the team he has brought, and he has brought Armaldo, Mianshao, is it Mianshao or Mianfu? I can't remember. Floatzel, Venusaur, Crocodile, and Kyurem. And looking at this, honestly, if I can get rid of the Crook and if I get the Rocks up as well, the Kyurem won't be able to take a Dragon Pulse. So really, it's quite like if I can get the right Latios in at the right time and get a few Calm Minds up, he could quite easily go through his team. So that is something I need to kind of bear in mind. It also looks like Rotom Heat can do quite a lot of work against his team, because there isn't anything that can it's like there's quite a lot of bulky kind of threats, but not like a lot of like super fast stuff. I mean, Mianshao is fast, but like a lot of like High Jump Kick is in Stone Edge is like the best thing you can kind of do to it. And other than that, the rest of his team is kind of slower and can get burned, can get discharged. So yeah, Rotom's can be very useful in this game. And looking at it, he has brought Venusaur, so that's kind of good, because that's literally, as you can tell from my team, like my prep, that's literally the only thing I prepped for, because I'm an absolute idiot. But let's go anyway, let's get into the battle, and yeah. So I lead a Size Toad because it takes on most of his team and it will bait in potentially Venusaur. But he leads with Mianshao, which is kind of like the obvious kind of lead he'd go for anyway. He gets a crit on a U-turn, which is a bit annoying, but Size Toad is kind of expendable as long as I get my rocks up anyway, so I'm not too fussed about that. He goes straight into his Venusaur as I kind of expected, but I do want to get my rocks up first turn just because like Kieran is there, Armaldo is there. Armaldo can spin, but I think I've got significant enough Pokemon on my team to kind of deal with that. So I go straight into Rotom Heat because he's like the best switch in, really. Just because I don't want to go. Rotom Heat was the better switch in than Latios, because if he went straight for a sleep powder or something like that, then I wouldn't have minded Rotom Heat getting sleep, because falling asleep, because Latios is kind of more needed to be awake basically. So went straight into Rotom, and he goes straight into Armaldo. Maybe because I mean, not many Rotoms carry sub, so I guess he wouldn't realise that, since this Rotom set is quite unconventional to like what you'd normally see. So I go for a sub, and I go straight for a discharge. I'm looking at that, I'm thinking he's either Max Spadef or he's just Assault Vest, because that's not doing much at all. But I'm not invested anyway, so I'm not like I'm surprised particularly, but I get the Paralyze off, which is good because it means to get a bit of added hacks in there, and he gets some Rabbit Spin off, but it's not too big of a deal really. Like he's got rid of my rocks, but Science Toad's back in again, and Armaldo is definitely in a worse situation here, so he's gonna go straight onto his Venusaur as I go for Stealth Rocks yet again, and yeah. So at this point, I could have probably doubled straight to Latios. I don't think I do. I think I just. Well, it's not double. I mean, I could have gone straight to Latios, but I go back into Rotom again. Rotom is on lower health, and taking a Sludge Bomb there, because obviously he was probably predicting that. That's seeing how much damage that did. That's actually quite good damage for my side anyway, because it means that Pain Split can come around quite soon. I mean, Armaldo's still quite low, and he's got a Rocks up, but I've got another sub up now. I'm quite low health, and I've also got the Paralyze on Armaldo, so I can just keep going for discharges here. And prays for the Hax gods, and they pull through. I think in this turn. No, they don't. I think they pull through next turn, but I'm just going to put this on normal because I'm catching up with it too quickly. Stone Edge, so he Stone Edges and breaks the sub, but I just go for another substitute because I've got enough health for it, and then he gets paralysed, so he's on 19%, and I could potentially kill him depending on like min max or anything like that, but I don't. I just do 17% again, but he gets paralysed again, so in the end it doesn't matter too much. So I'm sorry for the kind of hacks. That's what the Rome sets are out is about getting this kind of like paralyzers and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I say in a chat to him, sorry, this Rome set's a bitch, and he's like, damn, yeah, it is. And yeah, it was quite useful that Rome got that. And then he goes straight into a Mian Shao, and I go, since I got my sub up, I kind of stay in. So it's basically a free turn to get some health back because Mian Shao is on full health. So I get a bit of health back, and I go into I think I kind of realise like I have to go into something expendable at this point because Mian Shao can do so much damage to my team. So I just go straight into Gun Tank to take the Stone Edge, and he misses it, and he takes a high jump kick, and he gets to kill the Mian Shao. So Gun Tank actually ends up doing some pretty good stuff. I go for a taunt on the Venusaur because I'm still not completely sure what his set is, but it turns out he has Earthquake, so it's like a mixed kind of bulky set, so that's quite cool. So I go straight into Latios at this point, just trying to threaten him out. And he goes into Crocodile, and this is the point where the game completely switches, because at that point I was in quite good control, like I'd just beaten his Miancho, beaten his Armaldo. There's two kind of big things on his team out of the way. And I set up a sub on this as he brings in this, and the Dragon Pulse doesn't do enough at all either. And yeah, he has Crunch Pursuit, and me being quite experienced, not playing Pokemon enough, I didn't realise that was how common that kind of set was, and probably should have prepped for it a bit more and around it. But yeah, so Latios, my biggest threat to his team, is dead, and now things get interesting. So I go straight into Rotom Heat, and he dodges the Earthquake, which is excellent. I go for a Will-O-Wisp just because I want to, like, I'm new to this kind of threat, and just play about with him a bit with subs and Stone Edges, and just get a few bits of burn damage. But I want to keep Rotom alive because even though he's at a low health, he's got a Pain Split still, so he is still very useful. I go into Seismitoad here, and basically Seismitoad can take anything he's got and just get rid of the Crook. So Crook is out of the way now, but he did a very big number on my team by getting rid of Mega Latios. So that is kind of a bit shit. And I decided to keep Seismitoad in here because I haven't got a Latios to go into now, which is annoying. And luckily, he kind of tries to predict me going into something else, such as Rotom. And I don't go into Rotom, I just stay in and try and get some damage off on him. I go for a Scold there, just thinking if I can get a burn, that's some decent residual to get on him. It turns out he's got Synthesis, so this is really, really bad for me now. Me losing Latios is kind of a big deal, really. So I did kind of mess up with that, but I guess I didn't know the Crocodile set, so it's kind of my own fault, and it's not necessarily a choke to play, but more I didn't know the kind of sets. So I get a Pain Split of Rotom, get him up to so much health there, and I go for a Discharge here, just want to get some Paralyze on his Venusaur, but he goes straight into Floatzel. I don't know if that was fodder or not, or whether he went into Floatzel hoping I'd go for a sub, and then he can kind of do something else or something. I don't know what he was trying to do there. Either way, he died, and I kept Rotom in here because I wasn't sure what he's going to go for. Turns out he goes for a Draco Meteor and just flat out kills me, so that's quite annoying. And this is where the thick fat comes in, because I go for a bounce, and he gets for Synthesis, and so he would have survived. He would have survived, but I get the Paralyze on the bounce, and yeah, it does 32%, 34%. So that would have done 68%. So he would be dead now. He would be dead because he's paralyzed. He couldn't move. He would be dead if I had the right ability. He'd be dead. So who knows where the game might have gone? I could have might have just won with the bounce, the bounce of Azumarill, but it didn't come to be in the end. I almost won as well by getting the power flinch with the Zen Headbutt Sork, but in the end he just kind of synthesizes me and just laughs in my face at my incompetence. So in the end, yeah, Robin does in the end win because I can't do anything here. He's just going to keep synthesizing up, and Sludge Bomb kills me there, and Bounce is not going to kill him unless I get 5 paralyzers in a row, and I can't then Bounce kill Kyurem either, so yeah, that's a good game. Yes, again I choke, but in a different way. I think it's a bit more of a dignified way this time. Like last game, I played kind of shit last game, and this one I feel like I prepped all right, apart from the whole kind of thick fat fiasco. But yeah, I don't think I did awfully this game. I think it's definitely an improvement. So I think I will be doing I'll be doing these episodes like this in the future, where I'll post commentate and actually just play the games myself and kind of think about them a bit more. So I hope you enjoyed. It's a little bit late, so sorry to the GPC crew for my busyness, because I've been very busy recently, and internet's quite difficult around at my back at my house to kind of work around, because everyone's using it, and it's a lot worse. So hope you enjoyed, guys, and I'll see you for week 4, where we may potentially get a win for once, maybe. I feel like that's basically what my series is going to turn into with this. It's just, will Mouldy get a win? Probably not, but we'll keep turning up until he does, and if he does, we'll all shout and we'll celebrate, and yeah. So, see you for week 4, and good game, Robin Vart, and go and check him out. I'll put him into the description. He was really lovely about the whole thing, like very sympathetic as well about my disgusting use of thick fat, and yeah. So check him out, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye, guys.